Hello there. Today, we're going to be talking about isekai animes in which the main character behaves less like a hero and more like a scumbag. The people we're going to be discussing don't fit the typical profile of a kind and selfless person as portrayed in most anime. Every single one of these characters is deserving of the term scum, whether they are perverted or an outright sadistic psychopath. So, on to the first anime, shall we? Combatants will be dispatched. Combat Agent 6 is a spy for the evil Kisaragi Corporation. He is one of the people chosen to go to another planet, like Earth, and try and take it over. 6, like other combat agents, is implanted with a chip that will grant evil points, basically money, for every evil action performed. Our boy 6, compared to the other combat agents of the Kisaragi Corporation, is seen to be perverted, stupid, and obnoxious, gaining his evil points primarily through lewd acts. Ew. Agent 6 is known by his enemies as a coward who primarily fights dirty by taking hostages and attacking weak or distracted enemies. Trapped in a dating sim. After leaving his home, tired and hungry, the character now known as Leon Fu Bartfort slips down some stairs and is reincarnated into the life of a background character in a ridiculously confusing and badly balanced otome game. He was playing the game shortly prior to his death. In this new world, he is shown to have a consistently pessimistic view of the kingdom, which predominantly favors women over men. After joining an academy, Leon makes many enemies, of whom he has no trouble taunting and crushing their pride. Leon doesn't engage in fair fights, and he never participates in anything that would put him in an unfavorable position. Combined with his antagonistic attitude, this earns him much hate throughout the entire academy. Konosuba. Kazuma is given a second chance at life when he is offered the opportunity to be reincarnated into a fantasy world after he dies a death that is both tragic and hilarious. Before he started his new life, Kazuma was a recluse who spent all day locked away in his room playing video games. That's relatable. After arriving in this new world, he's enthusiastic about the prospect of becoming an adventurer, and he believes that his life will take the form of the typical isekai tropes that he frequently observed in shows prior to his death. However, after he learned about the dangerous nature of his job as an adventurer and how little he was paid for the potentially life-threatening work he did, he developed a, let's say, more pessimistic perspective on the fantasy world. Kazuma is being depicted as being consistently cynical, blunt, and sarcastic. Again, relatable. He is more commonly referred to as Scumzuma for his ability to win fights by using his wits and dirty tactics. Rise of the Shield Hero. While killing time in a library, Naofumi comes across a book that summons him into a fantasy world. In this world, he is given the duty of being the Shield's hero, a hero who would fight waves of monsters with nothing else but his legendary shield. After being falsely accused of a crime he did not commit, he grows more cold and distrustful towards everyone, always assuming that others are just trying to take advantage of him. Naofumi, for most of the first season, would be willing to help people, but would demand payment for said help. While Naofumi is called a legendary hero, he plays more of the role of a mercenary, demanding money or its equivalent for any help given, kinda making any action more of a transaction rather than charity. Arifureta, from commonplace to the world's strongest. Hajime, along with the rest of his class, is summoned into a fantasy world where he is betrayed by one of his classmates and blasted into the deepest recesses of a labyrinth they were exploring. After being betrayed, Hajime becomes cold, brutal, and ruthless towards anyone who gets in the way of his goal of going back home to Japan. Hajime has stated that he doesn't care if it's a demon, human, or god who gets in his way. He would kill anyone without hesitation if they became his enemy. His brutal nature is shown throughout the series, with him developing a habit of smiling in the face of danger and his willingness to kill even his classmates if they dare to cross him.